Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews. I'm not sure how loud I need to be. This is a very rare type of video review that I'm doing, but some of you may have seen that my computer setup, my base of operations as it were, is non-existent at the moment. So I'm going to do it like this. So there's no fanfare, it's just literally going to be me talking away as per usual. But yeah, Glass Onion. So yeah, this is a review for Glass Onion. It'd be good if I told you what it was. The sequel to Knives Out, directed by Rian Johnson, starring Daniel Craig again as Detective Benoit Blanc. And you know what? Glass Onion is a good, old-fashioned, fun crime caper. And I'll happily say that. I'm not sure it's a good mystery thriller. I don't know what level of mystery is actually in this film. I wouldn't call it mysterious. You know, the overall mystery itself isn't really that entertaining. It's not really that clever. And unfortunately, you know, if you have any sort of if you make any sort of attempt to figure it out, you can pretty much see who the murderer is, you know, straight away. And just to quote my good friend Nathan Smith, you really shouldn't be hiring extremely famous actors to use as your criminals, because it's abundantly obvious, really. But anyway, it's still a good, fun film that's powered on by the strength of Benoit Blanc. I wouldn't necessarily say the other characters rather, are all that interesting compared to the first Knives Out film. I don't think they are. I am remiss to remember their names, quite honestly, in this second film, and that's always a big tell for me. If I can't remember their names when we're coming away from it, then something didn't really click. But obviously Daniel Craig, as he was in the first Knives Out film, is just having an absolute ball. You can tell how much joy he's getting from this role, a joy that, you know, was obviously missing in some regard with James Bond. But I know James Bond is a different thing altogether. You want that ultra hard, badass way that he was doing it, and it fit his Bond, Daniel Craig. It fit his Bond that he was ultra hard and badass. But then we're seeing this other playful side to Daniel Craig that we've never seen before, apart from in these two movies, and it works a treat. It really does work a treat. And also props to cinematography in this film. It looks superb. We're taken away from a family mansion on this occasion. We're taken to a beautiful island in the middle of Greece, and we're surrounded by beauty and pageantry, and it's all overbearing, it's all overwrought, and that's the idea. It's a different kind of person, really. Yeah, it's still a very entertaining, very well crafted film. There's a bit of traffic here, sorry. This is the other thing, this is doing this kind of recording, I have to stay focused completely on driving, which is interesting. But yeah, it looks absolutely superb. The cinematography, the overall set craft is beautiful. It's really well rounded in that regard. It looks superb. And props again, I think, to the writing and to Rian Johnson, the director. He does an amazing job with this material. He's, you know, crafted an interesting detective universe, if that's what you want to call it, because everything has to be a fucking universe in a minute. Nothing can be on its own. But interesting enough, this film is a single serving film. That's why I think it serves itself well, because we're not overburdened by what happened previously. Obviously we know who the character is, we know who Benoit Blanc is, but we're not overburdened by previously on this film this happened, which makes him be like this. No, he's just Benoit Blanc. He's just the greatest detective in the world, and it works. It really does work. It plays to it perfectly. And you can tell that Daniel Craig's not weighted down. He's just playing the character. He's enjoying it. He's not weighted down by fucking fucking previouslys and preludes and fucking hell. He's just having a good time. He's just having a good time, and by virtue of Daniel Craig having a good time, you have a good time. There are some fallacies in this film, like I said. I'm not entirely convinced that the mystery is all that mysterious. It's kind of run-of-the-mill, it's kind of obvious. There are a few twists and turns. You can kind of see them coming. They give little hints here and there. But it's not necessarily an issue, because just going with the film allows it to be enjoyable. It is purely enjoyable in that regard. You go on this journey with Benoit Blanc as he's, piecing together not just the murder, but this other little side thing that's popped up, and then there's this plan that they put in place. It's very well done. It's very well crafted. But yeah, that's really it. I don't really want to spoil too much. I don't really want to say too much, give too much away. Yes, for me, it was a bit too obvious who the actual murderer was. Yeah, it's... does it really have the same kick and punch as the first film? Possibly not. But it's still very entertaining. It's very entertaining, and it's what we want. It's what, it's what people crave. And I think this film really should have had a general cinema release. I'm very surprised that it didn't, purely because of how good it actually is. I think it's missed out, really, where Knives Out sort of succeeded. Yeah. The only thing I will say that bugged me a little bit is we spend a lot of time with these nothing burger characters in the end, trying to piece things together, trying to put stuff, their lives together. Did we need all of them? I'm not so sure. It is interesting, and it was of great enjoyment to see Dave Bautista have a really good solid role. Again, he is someone that is very much on my radar as a really deep character actor. And who would have thought we would say that 10-15 years ago with Dave Bautista as being a deep, well-rounded character actor. And again, you can tell he absolutely fucking loves it. He's still muscly, he's still massive, but there's a sensibility to his performance. There's a playfulness to his performance as well that, lends itself really, really well to everything that he does. And I'm not just talking about Drax, I am talking about, his other films that he's been in. So it's interesting to see him continuously develop. The performances in general, yeah, the characters are a bit either here nor there, but the performances in general are once again superb. Rian Johnson, if nothing, is able to create a really good character-centric narrative, and it makes me... I'm not going to get into it. Because I'm sick of getting into it, so I'm not even going to bother. Yes, really good film. Not quite as good as Knives Out. I think that Knives Out hit me at the very perfect time. But with this, Glass Onion, it is still a really enjoyable film. It harkens back to the old crime detective stories and films and shows that we used to watch. So yeah, I'm going to settle on this really bizarre review whilst I'm driving in this suave shirt and tie. I've just been to a very important job. And this coat, what is this coat that I'm wearing? It's a detective coat. Yeah, so I'm going to settle with a nice lovely 7 out of 10, I think, with this film. So yeah, it's a good solid 4 out of 5. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I'm happy with that. It's enjoyable. Whether I'll watch it again, is one of them. But as a single serving film, it's really good. I'm quite happy. Very entertained. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. I'm pretty sure you all have, because I am massively behind on everything. Like I said, my base of operations has been destroyed. The rebels made their incursion and were successful. And I am having to do everything on the fly, on the travels. So there we go. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Top dollar. I'm actually really interested to see where they go next, what they do next, what the next mystery is. I just hope it's a bit more clever. Don't reveal the killer in your casting, to be quite honest, or in what you don't show us in the trailers, because yeah, that's where it kind of figured itself out really. But there you go, 7 out of 10. I don't know where I am. I think I've got lost, so I'm going to end the review there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more madness like this. Hopefully not like this. Don't want to do more driving because I can't really drive. Bye!